love it when I turn up the bass.
Connor, you free?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's always a bonus, isn't it?
And so it begins.
Are we live yet?
Yeah, I just had the notification telling us that we're now live.
It's like an even poorer man's GB News.
I mean, the trouble is that intro just drags on for so long. I mean, that was about as painful as my first sexual experience at Catholic school.
Yeah. Well, that's what your priest said, yeah.
What was his name?
Anyway, moving on away from Gammon's fucking sordid past. The fact of the matter, he was the priest. He tries to blag it that he was the altar boy, but no, he was the vicar there. You know what I mean? So, anyway, Clown World. The week of this week in Clown World, that's what we titled it. That's due to the fact that no other fucker had come up with anything, mind, but you know. Cheers for the input, lads. Stand together, we unite.
Come on, you had last weekend off. You've had more than enough time to prepare. Come on. Hit me with it. What you got?
Yeah, we got that much, right? I'm going to tell Callow to take it away.
Oh, no, not again.
Right. The pension age is going up in 2026 to 67, yeah?
Yeah.
And it was supposed to go up again in 2044 up to 68. But they're on about moving it 11 years earlier. So it'll be 68 in 2033. Now, the fact of the matter is, would this be the point where people will actually wake up and say, enough's enough? We've had enough politicians. We've had enough working until we drop, because figures out
That's
now.
what it'll be, won't it? That's exactly what it'll be. Fucking work till you're dead.
Figures out now are showing that when they first did the so-called will check, people are living longer. It's now reduced by 2.5 years compared to what when they first did the figures. So a man will probably live till about, if a working, and you don't actually work in one of these industries where you fuck your lungs up and stuff like that, you'll live till about 80. And a woman will live until she's 90. That's when they first did it.
Yeah, but women can claim the pension before the bloke anyway, can't they?
Eh?
Women can claim their pension before the man can claim his.
It used to be women 60, men 65.
Yeah.
It's now same as men now.
Also, well, it should be worse. I mean, if this is the ratio that they're going on, right, and women live like 10 years longer or whatever it is more than men, then women should like have to wait for the pension even longer than he.
Maybe they're levelling it up because of the new women.
I'm just going down the equal rights, you know what I mean? Everything's fair.
Well, yeah, because it's got to be equality of outcome.
Yeah,
it's not equal opportunities or equality of opportunity. It's equality of outcome. Yeah, indeed. Okay, yeah. I think we could try and spin that by Nadine Dorries.
I think Trap hit on the point there as well. I mean, if there is a difference, like between male and female for when you can claim it, if it was back to 60, 65, how many of us would suddenly decide that when we got to the age of 60, us men, that we're
exactly
in the wrong body?
My name is Deirdre.
But then again, Ben Shapiro, quite a few years ago, in a famous one, and he was arguing with somebody that was on the left about gender issues, choosing my words carefully for obvious reasons. And she said, "Yeah, sure, you can be whatever you want." He said, "Okay, so why don't you the exact thing? Why
Identify
don't
as
you
65?
identify as 65 so you
Yeah.
can go down there, cash your check?" She said, "Well, no, because it's different." But is it? It's not.
No.
It's no different at all.
Well, if you can
That's
identify
fine.
as an attack helicopter, you should be able to identify as a 65-year-old attack helicopter.
Uh huh.
Well, it wasn't that bloke who was a rapist, murderer, or something, calling himself. He's now a baby.
Bloke in there that's in a wheelchair that describes himself as. There's no Oakley, in fact.
Disabled.
Is he a 12-year-old girl or something?
Are you talking about the trans disabled geezer that I saw the other day in the
That's
wheelchair?
hilarious, that is.
No,
There's nothing wrong with him,
Fucking
but
hell. Fuck all
he
wrong
says
with the
he's disabled.
identify. Yeah.
I ain't heard about that one, but
He's being disabled.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like fucking like it.
Trans
Come on.
disabled, wheeling himself about.
fuck's sake. There
You'll
was,
see him down the local skate park.
there was a case in America where a fucking bloke tried to identify as a child because of some fucking bollocks or other. And yeah, that didn't
that
fly
over here?
either. No, that was in America, that was.
No, we get it over here all the
Oh,
time. They get off the trucks and off the boats in Dover, and then suddenly they're 13-year-old.
Oh, yeah, like 35-year-old Mohammed.
That's the one. That's a ticket.
Yeah. yeah.
Full beard for only 12.
I'll tell you something though, right? You can't knock him, can you?
Who's that? Who's that?
You're
You
right.
just said to the bloke, you just said to him, "I'm live streaming." He's gone, I'm live streaming. What's that? God, took a while slow for the pen to drop.
Who was that, Tiny?
Oh,
hear, mate.
no, he's muted
Boy.
himself. That ain't good out. But, I mean, you can't knock him now, right? Because one of these dingy dodgers, right, illegally entered the country, and within a few days of being, like, in the country, he was already set up in a weed farm. So, you know what I mean? They're there to work.
Yeah, they pay into the system, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the illegal system.
Yeah.
Well, I
Odd.
know they come to Britain and all they've got. They must say to each other, go to Britain. They'll do anything for you. They believe fucking everything.
Yeah.
Well, we said this the other. I mean, again, I want to be careful, but this is what was reported by the Daily Mail. Is that they call unbelievable? They call England or the United Kingdom Treasure Island. You know, no fucking wonder.
Oh.
Scandalous,
There's-
isn't it?
I don't understand it, right? If I went to America without the proper documentation, right, they wouldn't go, I'll put you up in
Yes,
a
they would.
4-star hotel.
Yes, they would if you came across from Mexico
you
and
came
said,
across from
"My
the
name is
border,
Manuel." Of course you
Yeah.
would.
Right. But that ain't me easy.
No,
You know what
you
I mean?
just go there illegally anyway.
You party
You
there.
just subvert the system in your own sweet
No,
way.
but let's have it right, man. You fly in there. The first thing they go, yeah, your paperwork ain't right. You ain't coming in. Fuck off. Next plane out. Month gone. They don't put you up in hotels for fucking years on end while they process your asylum claim. I mean, why don't
Oh,
they're
who was
illegals?
it that- That's right, wasn't it that Prince Harry could have got into hot trouble because he admitted to taking cocaine in his book? I know nobody gives a fuck about it, but I just heard around about my radar that because you can't go over there if you've got a criminal record. Was it Prince Harry? It was somebody that was very recently in the news. If it wasn't,
know
I'm sure it
John-
was Harry.
John Fury, Tyson Fury's dad can't go to America.
And
I
yet
don't know
Canada
what it
have legalised
All drugs,
heroin.
isn't he?
Class A's.
Canada legalises everything. Canada,
Can't hear you, Gammon. Can't hear you,
Canada,
Gammon.
Canada
Okay.
legalises everything at the moment. So, I mean, don't forget, we got the Canada's a country that's legalised assisted suicide.
Yeah,
50 million
made.
mil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the big globalist playground now, Canada.
I know it's a bit of a faux pas, but the Canadian female congressperson, for want of a better word, she said she was asked about it. Said, "Well, what about people that are suicidal that we could stop? You know, from being? There's nothing wrong with it. They've just had a bad fucking year or so." And she said, "No, our personnel are trained to eliminate the suicidal." I was like, "Oh,
dear
what a
me,
fucking
yeah.
poor
Well, that Red
choice
Cross
of
and
words. What a poor choice of words."
Talking of someone that should be suicidal, did you guys all hear that Gary Glitter's been released?
Yeah.
After doing half a sentence.
Yeah. How long are we putting it on before he becomes a candidate for Labour or SNP?
How long before we see fucking Jim Davidson round there?
Wait, we can't join
Oh,
the
Jim
BBC.
would
He's
have been
too
around
late for
there
that.
with champagne tonight.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
He's a changed man. He's
He's a changed man.
Changed man.
And he really regrets all of his repeated systemic actions, yeah.
I mean,
Allegedly.
Yeah, I suppose you would say that when you're getting sentenced enough, aren't you?
Why is
Yeah.
Free State sitting back looking dodgy?
Fucking, it's just one of them, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's fucking, this is somebody that's been fucking done multiple fucking times. Not only in this country, but also in other fucking countries, right? For the same fucking shit. And he's just got let out on half a sentence. What the fuck? I mean, I know the American penal system is a fucking joke. Because it's just fucking, it's stupid on their sentencing. But what the fuck, man? What happened to the 3 strikes you're out? Because he'd have been fucking out long way ago, you know what I mean? If he'd have been over
Yeah,
there.
but he's in England, isn't he?
He's now, yeah. But he got done in fucking, was it Thailand? He got done in Thailand as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Thailand was, I think, the first one, wasn't it?
Oh, I thought he got out in England
No,
first.
Thailand wasn't the first one because he fled to Thailand,
Yeah.
didn't he? And
He
people
got-
were chasing him around. Yeah,
He got
yeah.
fucking done for it in the UK. He fucked off to Thailand, got done for it in fucking Thailand, just come back to the UK, got done for it in the fucking UK. Hey, what the fuck?
Should we start a pool before he starts, his new victim?
It's, I mean,
Well, I've heard he's trying to become a lollipop lady.
God.
oh, fuck's
All he
sake.
needs to do is do one of them fucking drag story times. So that is that his CRB check them, do they? Sorry, what's your name? Paul Princess Glitter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to be
If
in
he's
my
coming and
gang?
entertain these kids without parental supervision, it's all right. If anyone shows up and complains, we'll call them bigots. Well, that's
They
a-
want to be in my gang, my gang, my gang.
No, fuck off.
Oh, see,
come
no,
on,
I
come on.
thought it. I thought it. Oh, come on! You see, that's where I was going. I thought it was the Care for Calais' new theme. Do you want to be a migrant, migrant, migrant? Do you want to be a migrant? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I keep winding them up,
Philippines.
and they keep blocking me on loads of different formats, but they still can't answer why they have to give half the equipment they are to these migrants. And I am on about things like, oh, we give them high vises and torches and fucking saws and cutters and fucking this and that and the other, all for building camps. Honestly, none of it for use for breaking and entry.
Yeah, none.
Yeah, but if you had that in a bag and you was walking down the street with it, right, and you got stop and search, you get fucked.
Yep.
I can't. Come on.
I don't get it.
Go spray it.
Stop begging on.
Oh, for
You know what I mean?
shit.
Give me a beer
please,
and a
get me a beer.
sandwich.
Get me a beer, please.
Please give me a beer.
It's in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Honestly,
this is the
like
man of the
TV
house.
At the BBC, this.
The alpha, alpha male of the house. Please, babe, get me a beer.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. When he's out in the fucking truck, he's always like, yeah, I'll do anything. I own this fucking gaff. I'll do it. Yeah, say it all. Yeah. Gets back in the house like an amoeba. He's been
He's
fucking
like a
cooking
fucking hotel
today.
guest.
That's the dinner and everything. It's all right.
Yeah, but I draw a line at washing up.
You'll make somebody a beautiful wife one day.
There'll be night porter in there tonight.
But anyway, we digress. Back to Tiny.
Why he's complaining about the retirement age? I mean, he should have retired about 10 years ago, but
Fucking, I'd have thought it would have been Flux. I mean, he used to walk.
He's not as old as he looks.
Oh, Flux used to walk God's dog, for fuck's sake, so I'd have thought he'd have been up for retirement by now.
mate, Flux produced Greensleeves.
Yeah,
I've
from
got a
Snot.
question.
He discovered fucking bark.
I think you got him mixed up, man. He ain't green sleeves. He gets silver sleeves from his Snot. You know what I mean?
With Gary Glitter coming out of prison, will he retain his wealth from what he made?
He ain't got no.
Right, so he'll have to start at square one again.
No, they put him into secure accommodation, and I know that because the town that I was in when I was a kid, the police are lucky Facebook weren't around. They put him in a pub next to a pub called the Locomotive, and the locals found out about it and went to set fire to the fucking thing with a cunt in it.
Oh.
That's
come
it,
on,
please,
come
man.
on, do the locomotive with me. Fucking hell.
Well, I mean, if Facebook was around,
Oh, dear.
like, you know, he's so recognisable. Once he gets seen, that'll be it. They'll be like, it's not like, oh, what's he called? It's not like the Jamie Bolger killers where you can't share their face online. Every cunt knows what Gary Glitter looks like.
Yeah, he'll trans or something or dress up as a woman.
Well, he'll do fucking so much of the. I don't understand why he ain't fucking just banged up for life. Forget about it. Oh, I'm really sorry. What? Yeah. Fuck off.
Is Rob Harris still in prison?
Forget about it.
I believe so, yeah.
I hope he hasn't. You see, I hope he's been medically castrated.
Doesn't stop him.
Sledgehammer, anvil, bollocks.
Rope. But we digress about our DIY building skills indoors. Let's move away from that sort of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, indeed.
Oh.
I've got an interesting one to bring up, considering we're all disorganised as fuck today.
This isn't disorganised. Don't fuck. No,
How
this is
dare you?
professional disorganisation.
This takes a whole new level of professionalism to be this
All
fuck.
the time chaos.
Hey, you can't be this fucking disorganised, like just being disorganised. You have to practice it.
You don't come to rehearsals, Gammon. That's why you don't know. You should have seen it before.
Yeah.
It was a shit show.
Yeah. We make this look like Tiz was.
We're like Bernard Manning on the piano.
Yeah. Or Les Dawson.
Or Les Dawson. Well, everyone, Bernard Manning would have been my second choice.
What's happened to your camera then, Flux?
Is that to cover
Nothing at
him?
the moment. Yeah, I'm just.
You don't want anybody to see the dust on the stairs that he still ain't cleaned.
No. He doesn't want, the heroin and the fucking teaspoon.
Yeah, I'm fucking. Oh God!
You rented this old Steve.
What's his name?
Oh,
Pete
dear.
docketed right up.
Oh, you're back on the heroin, are you, Flo?
Mm,
Oh, lovely.
yeah. The doctor said it was.
brown,
a good
texture
move.
like sun.
What, the methadone just won't cut any? I mean, need that.
No, the Vim wasn't.
Yeah, I got mixed up with the Vim.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, boys, the thing that I was going to bring up was, we keep seeing a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Russians. We keep seeing a lot of stuff how there's Russian people running away and hiding from conscription and not willing to fight and all this bollocks. Keep spotting on, after truck driving forums, one flip-flops crashing. So here's a prime example. A Czech Republic truck driver in his 60s got pissed up at a truck stop and run over another truck driver and crashed into 4 trucks and drove down the road, and they found him the following day. Said truck driver that they run over was a 34-year-old Ukrainian bloke. Now, I'm pretty fucking sure at the start of all this, I mean, considering all the money and provocation we keep trying to do, I thought all the blokes that were fit and able were supposed to be staying behind to fight. So why is it I'm seeing so many of it
because it's a farce.
all fucked off and running across Europe, and we never hear that from the BBC. I mean, we obviously know what the answer is already, but why is it the Russians, they make a big song and dance, but the Ukrainians sweep it under the carpet?
Oh,
Well,
all
it's the
the
ballet, you
Russians-
see. That's why they make a
Sorry?
big song. It's the ballet schools. That's why they make a big song and a dance out of it.
Yeah, but how do you know that fucking Ukrainian dude wasn't already in the country for like 10 years? Just because he's Ukrainian and they're having a bit of a was in Ukraine. What I mean by having a bit of was the Ukrainians are getting bent over and shafted nicely by America that's now calling it its cousin. You know what I mean?
This is what they want.
I do not know if he's not was only in Ukraine for 2 minutes as a kid, or anything else. I'm making assumptions.
See, you're speculating. Assumptions are like arseholes and everybody's got one. And it just happens that yours is fucking
well, that's not really the
gargantuous.
saying, but yeah, go on,
Need to
fucking
book it away
bastardise it a bit more.
You're feeling it a bit more.
Fuck it. Oh,
I mean,
dear.
mind you,
Robbie, it's real English. That's how it's really said.
Yeah.
You've not been saying it wrong for years.
I mean,
I tell ya.
one of the reports, was bearing in mind, was like a very BBC-esque report, and considering they like to report saying that a local person from insert place in the UK here raped this person, it's like, well, no, they come from Ethiopia.
Yeah, but he could have been from here originally.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, Eritrea.
How do you know?
How do you
Could have
not
been
know?
from Eritrea.
I mean, don't do a Fucci on me.
Oh,
How do you know?
I'll try it a third time.
Hey, we've been ignorant, you
Go on.
know. We've been very ignorant, we have.
I expect a
even
really
said hello
rousing
to
laugh.
our viewers.
I've been in the chat saying hello. It's just you lazy fucker.
Yeah, you don't need to start saying hello. I've called them minions once. I mean, I can go and insult them again. I'm in the middle. I keep WhatsApping the wife asking for her to go get me a beer.
Yeah, you still ain't got a beer though, have you?
I've got an idea.
Yeah. While he's having his brainwave, what else we got on the fucking horizon of this fucking madness that we're in? Oh, possibility of nuclear war. That could be good.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Where do I
I
sign
mean,
up the
the
Russian
one
army?
that I saw today from Zelensky. Now, I don't speak Ukrainian or Russian,
Don't you? You have surprised me.
However, well, Glosnas, Pravda, and Tus and all that.
Nostrovia.
malarkey, German. Yeah. And Zelensky saying that NATO should use tactical nuclear warheads against Russia to show them what the response would be if Russia were to use them first. What
How,
the
how
fuck is this
dare they have
cum-
even chose
And then, as I say, I'm only going by the translation that I got. But if that is what was said, what the fuck?
It's right. I'm fucking looking like, you know what I mean? What the fuck's going on in me? Because I was trying to unpack that. And no matter which way I unpack it comes back down to the same thing, doesn't it? What a cunt. I mean,
Just
let,
in the meat grinder.
let's just
They got
fling
more
a few
time.
nuclear fucking weapons around the world and, you know, just to make sure that everybody knows that, you know, we've got a threat we can use.
Well, they're giving them out-of-date tanks at the moment to get into the meat grinder.
Hey,
They
but-
don't give a fuck how many people are dying. They don't give a fuck how many people are dying, civilians that are suffering.
Do you
on both
really
fucking
think?
sides.
Do you really think the Yanks have ever give a fuck about how many civilians die when they're making billions of pounds fucking rinsing the fuck out of a country?
None of them do.
I mean, they're literally fucking... You're going to see that Ukraine change to USA Mark II. That's exactly what they want. They want a fucking Cuba right on the fucking border of fucking Russia. That's what they want.
They've had a spy balloon from fucking China over the United States for 3 fucking days. Well, they shot the fucking thing down. It's got all the coordinates and everything it fucking requires now.
Right, this spy balloon. It ain't very fucking high tech, is he? I mean, it's
No,
a balloon that
not really.
floats, so it ain't like you can go,
And
I
also-
want to get a picture of this.
What really made me laugh
Fuck me.
is about it being a spy plane, saying it was going over Minnesota, and specifically over the secret. Was it the 377th Battalion Brigade of Nuclear Miss? The secret.
Yeah.
The one that we're just telling you all on
Yeah.
the news.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
First part
When
about
then-
it being secret is you don't broadcast it in the media. It kind of defeats the purpose.
That's what Fight Club is. Don't talk about fucking Fight Club. Yeah, this balloon was just flying over farmland and we shot it down.
Will these people realise that these people are just trying to destroy your countries? These elites are just trying to destroy your countries.
Are we talking about
Honestly,
China or the
what?
Democrats here?
Well,
Got the
apparently,
whole of fucking American Republican Party there, all stuck there with a thumbs up the fucking ass, while a communist is running roughshod over the fucking everyone's fucking monument.
Yeah. Okay. Talking about destroying a country, and
which one?
people doing fuck all about it, and I'm looking at you, GB News, who's been apparently had a gag order put on them so that they cannot talk about what's going on over in Southern Ireland with all of the protests.
Oh,
Never.
yeah, and that's going nuts. Well, not even the
Have you
Irish are
I
publicising
went
it,
to
are they?
GB News YouTube yesterday, clicked videos, searched through everything over the last, well, it was 24 hours at that point, so it'd be 48 hours today. Not one mention, not one, not of all the protests, all the demonstrations, nothing.
Yeah, it's it's gonna take British people on Dover Sands to stop these fucking boats coming across.
Well,
That's the only thing that I can see stopping it is if people are on the fucking beach.
thing is though, right? I mean, this is all about illegal immigration again, or fucking, just blatant immigration, forced to integrate, and all that. Now, unfortunately, it's one of them fucking told you so moments yet again. Because I was talking to fucking people 3 years ago, telling them, oh, by the way, your nice little island, yeah, get ready for this to get fucked, because you're going to have a huge fucking immigration centre there. Not only that, you're going to have a huge fuck-off mosque there. And what did they say? Nah, it'll never happen here. They'll never do that here. Never happen.
Who's the chef with the lisp?
Jamie Oliver.
Yeah, apparently he where his house is. Apparently, there's a place where they're going to stick loads of refugees.
Well, they're opening up a new prison. There's a huge
Yeah, I thought
prison.
there was a prison that was being opened up near him.
It won't stop.
Jamie Oliver's upset because there's going to be a prison built in the vicinity of his house or close by.
I don't know what he's whinging for. I mean, commuting time for him to go out to fucking work to do another shitty TV show where he can go into there and go, oh, you all like chicken dippers? We can get rid of them. I still
Oh,
about fuckers and turkey twisters.
got 0 out of 2 so far, Gam.
Fucking have 2 for 2, mate, you cunt.
He
All
does
right,
try.
we'll make it 0 for 3 because I saw the way you poured your beer as well.
Yeah, limp-wristed.
Oh, sorry, do you just, like, when you get yours, you just literally just fucking pour it upside down? Like, impress me. How do I do the beer? What was wrong with it?
Well, the way that you did it was incorrect.
No, I poured it how I wanted. A little bit of head.
You don't want to do it like that.
He's always
What
nice.
did you do that one, Gavin?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least he's drinking full-fledged beer and not shandy.
I want to know
Yeah.
more about this island thing.
Yeah, out of his girly little fucking 220ml bottle.
Yeah, well, at least he's growing up. The last time I went drinking with him, he put ice cubes in fucking cider.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, ice cubes in cider. I don't
Hang on.
watered down
Was it the
anymore.
last time?
You
Was it the last time?
fucking...
Was it the last
Oh.
I don't know whether it was the last time or the time
Did he
before
have a bit
that,
of
but,
meat and call it a Pims?
you know what I mean? Fucking... I
Oh, it
was,
must be Pims o'clock. Hiya!
you know what I mean? I take him to a bar and he orders a fucking bad drink. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. I've got to come back here. But no.
Yeah, there's
Two
two
baby
blokes
shams,
in
making
Ireland.
doubles.
There's actually two blokes in Ireland that are throwing it to the fore. One's called Derek Bly, and the other chap is called Philip Dwyer. They're both forefront of the Irish protests against the immigrants. So it's Philip Dwyer.
Is Philip Dwyer the older gentleman that's really polite? Is
And
he
Derek
is
Bly.
well, okay, could be because I don't know their names, but there's one guy that seems to be at an awful lot of these protests. Excuse me,
That'll be Derek.
and he's exceptionally polite to the Gardaí.
Yeah.
No, come on, lads. There's no need to be doing this. Come on, guys. You know, look at what they're doing here. They're dividing us.
Why are you
You're
doing a
protecting-
fucking really dodgy fucking Irish
I
accent?
don't know
Yeah,
because
I don't know what's happening.
I'm feeling all a bit Kevin Spacey.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Yeah.
There should be tablets for that, but there ain't.
Hey,
Oh,
you know, another visitor to poor Gad.
Fucking hell. Epstein's Island.
Yeah, but you
Where's
know,
your Mac?
well, anyway, there's this guy, and he goes around. And he's exceptionally polite, but he's at every single protest. Not every single.
That's Derek Bly.
Come on.
Right.
The chap that goes to the actual places where they're homing them is Philip Dwyer.
Right.
But they're both doing well, and you know, to highlight it all.
But they're it, no, it's getting done. They're just ignoring them. I mean, at the end of the day, Southern Ireland's can't do it anyway. It's part of the European Union.
Well, indeed. You can only follow the edicts,
Yeah.
not the Egypts.
No, I think that they was the Egypts to start with because
Yeah,
they
the
want.
Egypts
I
from
want to
the
be
Egypts.
independently ruled by Europe.
But
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
actually, no, mate. No, because Southern Ireland said no how many times?
Oh, it's,
twice, weren't it? And then on third, and they voted. Apparently,
Apparently.
yeah.
so do they want to be your?
Not apparently, is it because the?
Well, we're going to say
Yeah.
that the voting system's rigged.
Well, you can't say that, can you? You know, that's tinfoil territory, and we're not allowed that anymore.
Not allowed tinfoil hats.
You're allowed a tinfoil hat, but on YouTube, you're not allowed to say stuff that may or may not be true.
Like what? Can you give us an example?
Subverted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your thing.
Gammon's a cunt. That's true. Gammon's a nice guy. That isn't true. There you go. There's the example.
That doesn't sound like it's against YouTube's terms and conditions.
Okay,
Well,
then.
it's
Like,
not into detail.
I'll tell you what. It's all right, mate. I got this. I'll tell you what, Fatty. After this stream, yeah, we'll drop onto your channel, go live, yeah, and I'll show you exactly how quick it'll take me to get your channel banned with, like, you know what I mean, stuff, if you want to go down that route, like. You know what I mean? Shady fucker. I ask ya. He's just trying to gouge you, that's all it is.
I know they were blocking the M50.
Yeah, the block the M50 was doing a slow roll warning
Yeah.
When were they?
today.
Last night, I know.
Who were?
People in Ireland.
Oh,
People
right.
in
Sorry.
Ireland.
I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. Right.
There was, if you're doing a slow roll, or just blocked up the M50.
I did.
Chris, you
Oh.
know, they can do that, but if you did that in this country, you get your car took off you, you end up in prison.
There was
Yeah.
too many.
Freedom of choice. Yeah, right. Freedom of
many.
choice is cold.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, though, isn't it? Like,
Are you picking your nose?
Oh,
How's your fucking nose up there, you cunt? I'm scratching. Look, news?
oh,
you had to, Daya. You just had to.
Oh, it's not the hand and thingy job again.
Oh no!
And I've got an itch up here, so I'm going like that. He goes, you're picking your fucking nose. I'm like,
Honestly, he's so uncouth, you know.
I'll take him nowhere, man.
fucking them bottle caps attached to your fucking face. Could you not see that? I mean, is your camera that out of focus?
No, you're just that disfigured.
Yeah. I don't look it.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm literally waiting for you to go fucking giggity giggity every time
You
you
know,
talk.
I go
Shots
cross-eyed
fired.
at times just to make it stop.
I was what you masturbating. Where was your cum face?
Oh, for fuck's sake. This is meant to be a fucking informative fucking, gripe about what the fuck's going on in this clown world bullshit that we've all got to fucking deal with, man. And here's you fucking picking your nose and talking about him and he's fucking mad.
Informative. Okay. You're being controlled by a load of people that fly across the world to go meet up and sit around a table and discuss how they're going to fuck your life up. And they're not responsible or answerable to anybody. Your life's fucked.
Bring in the clown.
But is it? Our? I mean,
No,
the
we're
end
not. And this is the thing, right? Because, yes, I know, people are fucking dumb as fuck. And a lot of people are taking a long time to wake the fuck up to what's going on. You know what I mean? But eventually, at some point, people will just go, hang on a minute, fuck this. Like in Ireland, it's a smaller country. Things happen quicker in smaller places because, you know what I mean? It gets there quicker. When this country gets to the same as where Ireland's at, you'll see the same over here. And then, unfortunately, when they're training in the military, that ain't going to fucking work because there's only, 85,000 of them fuckers and all.
Yeah.
You know, plus what is it? 40,000 coppers.
Well, I don't think there's that now, is there?
I mean, this is where the EU army's going to get pulled in. But the thing is, if every fucking country in Europe is all going, hang on a minute, fuck this bollocks, why are we doing this? We're literally paying taxes through the fucking nose for you to spunk up the fucking wall on shit that you don't even ask us about. You're meant to run the country. You're not meant to run every other fucker's country for them as well. You know what I mean?
Decided everything, haven't they?
Charity starts at home. Until our fucking shit's sorted and nailed down, fuck everybody else. And if everybody took that stance, everybody would do better. Because at the minute, you pay to a charity, right? A lot of the times, only 4 pence out of a fucking pound touches that charity. The rest of it gets up in CEOs and admins. So charity don't fucking work.
Indeed, and even times that by a factor of 100 of what we give in foreign aid, and out of that foreign aid, what actually gets met. I mean, I know he's a comedian, but he said the way that you stop famine in Africa, and this is somebody else's words, not mine, is you stop sending them fucking money.
Yeah.
Because they will. It will happen.
I mean, when you look at places. Sorry, mate.
When they did Feed the World and that, and them people are still there. And the reason why they're still there and they're not farming their own land is because they're getting free food all the time. And until they stop feeding them, then they'll get off their fat idle asses because they keep popping kids out left, right, and centre. They're popping kids out, but in our countries, we're not. Why? Because we can't afford to feed them. Because we can't afford to clothe them in this country. We're supposed to be one of the 5th richest nations in the world, and we can't afford to feed our own fucking kids and put clothes on their back and put electricity on meters to keep them warm in winter. And here we are, giving money away like it's going out of fashion. We're borrowing money to give money away. That's like me going into the bank, taking my wages out, and then walking back into the bank and saying, I want to borrow X amount of money so I can pay my mortgage. You know, here, just walk out the street and give it to somebody. You know what I mean? And then walk back in bank and borrow money. You don't do that. You live within your means, and this government of ours keeps telling us to live within his means, but yet isn't living within the means.
Yeah, but
It's wrong.
not only that, though. The system's geared to make sure that you can't possibly get ahead in this world. You get taxed for inheritance. So if you've got family money, you're getting fucked on it. You know what I mean? And now they want to bring in, like, if you got a house but you haven't got enough in your pension, sell your fucking house to pay for your fucking old age. What the fuck? So you can't pass anything on. You can't gain anything. You're getting taxed fucking what? Between 20 to 40% on your fucking wage, straight off the bat. Then everything that your money touches is taxed 20% at least. You know what I mean? If we was
and yet, you one may find in other communities that the way that this inheritance tax, and I'm not talking about the upper class or whatever you want to describe them. I'm talking about other people. Is that they will have maybe a £1 million house, the Ferrari or so, but there's like 10 of the brothers all working together, with the wives all living in the house and the kids all working at the shops, and they all bought that one Ferrari together as a group, and they all bought that £1 million house. And so when somebody fucks off and dies, because it's just passed down through, because they're all on the deeds to the property, on the deeds, on the registers for the vehicles, you know, the goods and chattels. It seems to be a completely different way of operating. So one can't even argue that that the inheritance tax affects everybody equally within the UK, because, well, within England, because it most certainly does not.
well,
Well, no, well, I tell you how it works. They buy the houses, right? They'll get X amount of houses, and then when the kids at a certain age, then they'll give them a house. That's right, give them a house. I mean, how they get these houses is debatable, and we won't talk about that because we don't have evidence. But we all know how it happens, and
Yeah, but mate, I've seen real world with my own eyes examples of what I just said happening. Of
it done. You can't. There can only be one person on a logbook, not two people.
okay, maybe not the log, but certainly with the property. And you know that's how a lot. Well, I say a lot. At least 3 people that I know have amassed an awful lot. One of them's Cypriot.
it's a cultural thing.
Yeah,
Their culture is to do that.
they own a fish spot, a
Chinese-
chain of fish and chip shops.
Chinese do the same
you know
thing.
how to do that, don't you?
No, it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
That's what they do, and he pans out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I grew up with him.
The thing in our country, when you get to a certain age, you get turfed. You know, go stand on your own 2 feet. You know, go earn your own money, go build your own life. In their culture, it's not like that. In their culture, it's like, we don't care. The front room's your bedroom. The back room's everybody's eating room. And then, but here's the thing. If you did that in a house like that, you'd be done for overcrowding. So why aren't they getting prosecuted? Mind you, you've only got to look at some of these things in newspaper and that, and things like that, where they turned a garage into a room and made it look still like a garage, and people are living in it. I mean, and that's why they reckon in London, where they say, well, I don't know how many people actually live in London. I think, is it 12 million?
I think it's something along those lines. Yeah, I think so.
But they reckon there's about 18 to 20 million people actually living in London in garages in back gardens.
Yeah, because the rent's so fucking high, nobody can pay the rent. So a lot of people are turning any space into an income for me.
But it's all done behind off book. You know, some of these people live in conditions that, you know, technically you won't live in them.
Well, when I say
live in them.
the inheritance tax isn't set up the same ways that some people utilise certain loopholes that are there that everybody could use if we use them, but our cultures are different. Yeah.
Well, not necessarily, because some loopholes can only be accessed if you've got enough funds to access them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, like a family estate and putting it into a trust, yeah, and all of that. Yeah, I agree. But I wasn't talking, I specifically excluded the
Why?
Upper echelons.
Why is the working class the bottom of the ladder? I mean, it's a bit like, right, the police force and the firefighters and the nurses, right? What level should they be at? Should nurses be worth more or less than a copper? Or should a firefighter be worth more or less than a copper or a nurse? You know what I mean? If you decide that all of these three should actually, because they all could lose their lives in the line of duty, all fucking are meant to care and protect for people, allegedly. You know what I mean? If you decide that all of them should be on the same fucking level, then how do we fucking... Oh, I've lost my fucking train of thought, to be fair. Fucking...
How do we value them is where you was going, I believe.
Oh, yeah, but how do we... If all them are on the same level, right, because they're all valued the same, then where do we put in the fucking equation the working class that makes the products, that keeps the country moving, that does everything, so this country's got a fucking, you know...
Based on skill. That answer's based on skill. Any fucking idiot can scan something across a barcode and press total at the end. Hence why they got self-service checkouts. And well, mind you, most idiots still.
Right. Okay. So let's just go with that. Right. So you've got a shop cashier, right, scanning barcodes. That's all it does. Just scan barcodes, put it in the finger, he takes the money. Just works in the shop.
Yeah,
okay.
job,
right.
This
person, yeah, supplies fucking a whole estate of people, right? Now, if that person wasn't there and that shop wasn't there, because that person can no longer be there because he can't afford to run it, then that's got a knock-on effect for the whole of the estate of people.
No, because you can get someone else quite easily.
No, because they'd have to go somewhere else. But the thing is, right, somebody who sits in an office, does fuck all, pushes a pen, gets paid fucking exorbitant amounts of money for... Why are they so higher on the fucking pecking order than fucking the people that fucking run the country?
Hang on, I'm just looking at James O'Brien doing the one earpiece thing. He's just like, you know, it's either that or he's going to try and recreate Feed the World.
I can't see why the fucking people that fucking work to run the country are being fucking paid a pittance amount. They should not be the poorest in the country.
I disagree. I disagree with the original premise further back. If you got say you get paid, depends. Your value and how much you get paid depends on your skill level on your job. Stacking shelves or washing up cups. Yeah, someone needs to do it. Yeah. But it's such an easy fucking job to do that any idiot could do it with a couple of minutes worth of training. Compared
what
to
about labour-intensive jobs?
Right. So hang on. So what you're telling me is somebody that actually provides a service to a whole fucking community of people isn't worth the same amount of money, right? In our society, it's guaranteed it at the minute. There's some bed that just gets a tits out on fucking OnlyFans. That bed should be revered more than the bed that works in the shop and brings in the fucking thingy. Yeah,
that's capitalism.
But that's fucked up.
No, people choose to spend their money directly to some on OnlyFans. However,
that's free market capitalism. Otherwise, you're looking at communism.
Well, a little bit of communism never hurts.
Is really what your version of communism? Because you've got it. You're going to get it right, and no other cunt ever has. Right. Yeah, fuck off.
Fuck off, man. We got socialism, haven't we? A bit of communism's gone back to
all right, Sir Keir.
You know what I mean?
Stick it back to the original
thing. No, that's being too unkind. All right, Diane Abbott.
Fuck off, my maths adds up.
Well, the problem is everybody assumes that one
bird in the shop should have a box out.
No.
That's Hancock.
Coppers, nurses, fire brigade, they start on a certain salary, then they work their way up, which is fine. But here's the thing. Just imagine the rest of society. When you start a job, yeah? I say, me. I started my job at this price. This is what I'm getting paid for doing my job. Unless I get a pay rise, I'm still on that wage. It don't matter how good or how many extra deliveries I knock out each week. I'm not getting paid any extra. Bog off, Gammon, you pervert. You're not getting paid any extra. It's in your hours. That's what you get. It's within your ream of your hours to do this extra run. That's what you get. You're not getting any extra. Now, here's the thing. Yes, I believe that nurses, doctors, and things like that should get a good wage. But here's the thing. You can't keep telling the working class, or the lower working class, because don't forget, doctors, nurses, no matter how much you want to look at them, police officers, they're working class people. It's no good saying they're not. They are.
Doctors are not working class people.
Surgeons, maybe not.
And nowhere near is a doctor in the working class. They're middle class. All day long.
What hours do
I
they
don't know.
work?
Fucking dentists are doctors, are they?
If they work over 40 hours a week, they're working.
Yeah. Well, no, it don't matter. Forget 40 hours, because don't forget, some people work part-time. What are you saying? Because they work part-time, they're not workers? Of course not. They're workers. They're working class. That's the thing that we keep saying. Working class are the ones at the lower end of the working class. Those will say that don't have skills. Yeah? Or these...
When you say don't have skills, what do you mean?
You.
Well, bog off, Gamma. Well, till I pass my heavy goods license.
Okay, you've got a skill. You've got a skill.
Yeah,
You
running-
do have hod carriers have a fucking skill, a technique.
Yeah.
Bricklayers have a skill.
If the thing is, if you don't have the paperwork that says you're you're
Qualification.
qualified to do that, you haven't got skill. So you get paid minimum wage, which is pittance. You get treated like scum. And that's the problem. That's where many low-class people will do whatever to keep their heads above water. But when you start treating them and talking to them like they're dirt, that's when people have a problem.
I'm going to upset so many people with an answer to this.
Oh, you're bound to, are you?
Oh, I definitely will. Right. If you're low skill, get a skill that demands more pay. If you will decide that you want to go and waste your time and go to university or study a skill where it's heavily saturated in that industry, where you can turn around and go, even though I'm really good at my job, if you don't give me a pay rise, I'm going to go. And they will literally go, well, fuck off then, because there's thousands of other people with your skill set we can hire like that. That's a you problem. You need to put yourself in a position where you're at a job where you can go, I am good at my job. I am valuable to you, Mr. Boss. And I'm not going to completely blackmail you and hold you to ransom, but I am going to put your feet slightly on fire. I believe I'm worth X amount. If I leave and go to work at another company doing the same job, I'll get paid more or get better benefits or got more holidays per year, and I would like you to match it. That is what you should be doing. If you're working as a street sweeper or as a checkout fucking shelf stacker, whatever, these are all jobs we still need people to do, but they're jobs we can easily swap you out for. That's down to you. You need to get yourself a skill that makes you relevant.
So, when are you going to do that?
Already have HTV. January, February, and March each year is a year you do not go to swap your jobs, but I've done it before.
Yeah, but when are you going to
give me a pay rise, and I want to change this and this. I got what I wanted.
What about the jobs that people don't want to do? Shouldn't they be incentivized to do it by actually paying them more to do that job?
When you say that,
pay them more if there's like thousands of people that are willing to
hang
do
on.
one
When
person.
you say that people don't want to do, like, can you? Because
Well, the media always pop up and say, "Oh, people won't do this job, so we've got to import
Okay,
people."
what job?
Like let's say picking fruit from a field for the farmers.
Okay, because I was going to go for shit like cleaning out sewers
No, because that's a high-paid job.
and sludge gulpers
That's a
and things that do suck lifts out of all the nastiness.
that pays well,
Fucking
man.
hell.
A fluffer.
I
yeah.
know.
Where there's muck,
exactly
there's
that,
money.
and that was going to be my point.
Hang on, let me
People
answer
have,
that question
people
then.
have a
Well-
misconception about potentially
They're all
what
like-
they themselves wouldn't do, and what they think because of that, what other people wouldn't do.
Right, let me answer that question from Caldera. Quite simply, it's called social dumping, and I'm completely against social dumping. If you're unable to hire people in for that job in your area because you're treating them so badly or paying them so badly or anything else, no, you should not be able to go to a third world shithole and hire them in. It's happening all across Europe. Yes, if it is a specialised doctor or a surgeon, I agree we might need to hire someone in. But someone to pick shit in a fucking field, there isn't a national shortage of that. The farmers decided back when my mum was fucking put as a hot picker and said to all the English people, we're laying you off. On the down low, they didn't admit it out in the open, but they basically, the word came through, you're all getting fucked off and we're replacing you. And that is why they get them in. And it's the same
Cheap
for loads
labour.
of different. So if you guys are surprised, look at a company called Girteka, Girteka. They're a HGV industry haulage company in Latvia. Look at which countries they're hiring their drivers from. There's lots of things with Stan at the end, or Philippines. Social dumping. It's because they don't want to pay the wages or the benefits, and they claim they can't afford to do it, so they get migrants in to keep the wages down. Hence why a year and a half ago I covered this. There was HGV companies saying that they can't afford to give a pay rise, but they can pay agencies £20 to £30 an hour, and then all of a sudden they could afford to pay for fucking subsidised healthcare privately, and all these different schemes, and we can offer you £1,000 a week when we could only offer you £750 a couple of weeks beforehand. They have got the fucking money. They just choose to waste it. That's the big firms, not the small firms.
Right, if
Sorry,
we
I
wanted
don't-
everybody to be on a decent wage, we could do it. There isn't no fucking way. I watched somebody, right?
Get rid of half the third world that's in the UK. It's
You ain't
called
even
Renault.
got to do that. That's the thing. You ain't even got to get rid of the third world. Forget about the third world. Forget about fucking immigration. Forget about all that. Every country that's here could fucking live well if the fucking government wasn't fucking putting the foot on our throats all the fucking time,
What, like
taking
a
the money
UBA?
out of it. I mean, right. A
When
bloke
you
said,
say live well,
live well.
what? Okay.
Not have to worry about whether you can put fucking your gas on or food on the table. Not have to worry about when the bills come in, you're going to be fucking short on them. You know what I mean? To live with it in a reasonable standard. I mean, I ain't saying opulent, but what I'm saying is a reasonable fucking standard of life. We could all live well if the government took the fucking foot off our neck. And I watched this bloke, he goes, it would cost 20 billion. This is in America, granted, but America's a lot bigger than us, right? It would cost America $20 billion a year to end homelessness and food poverty in America. Right? $20 billion a year. They're
but
now
again,
spending
my
$120 billion
My friend,
on fucking
my friend.
arms.
My friend, what is defined as homelessness over there?
Well, I don't know if you've seen
No,
Detroit.
I mean, are we talking
A
about?
lot of tents.
Are we talking about a mum and dad with a kid that are both crack addicts that have the scope to say end homelessness? Well, I'll be honest with you. I know two homeless people
That don't
right
want to be in
now
houses.
that don't want to be in
Yeah.
fucking houses, and they've got houses and they're living out underneath archways, and there's nothing we can do to persuade them to get back into a house.
Some people are like that due to the fact that they have responsibilities of the house.
And so
But
you're going to
according-
get some bleeding heart liberal walking down the road going, look at that poor homeless person. We need to pump money into that.
Well, they
20
do need to
See
put
what I'm
money into
saying?
it because at the end of the day, dude, right? Fucking
I'm not being
some of them might not want to go into fucking the houses, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, it would cost them $20 billion to fucking try to get something done for them instead of saying fucking. I mean, have you seen the videos on YouTube of some of these places? It's fucking raw, man. You know what I mean?
Again,
To clean up these areas so people can actually walk down the street without fucking tripping over needles.
So we're talking about getting rid of the cunts.
We're talking about fucking giving them homes. We're talking about building them.
Which they're only going to do the same thing in again because they're high on drugs.
Well,
Hang
at
on,
least
hang
they
on,
ain't
hang
fucking
on,
on the
hang
streets invading everybody else's fucking liberties.
All you've got to do is, I mean, for some apparent reason, we're finding land to build traveller sites, yeah? So why haven't we got a piece of land for these down and outs that don't want to live in houses so they can set the tents up on there and you can put trees around them and hide them? If they don't want to live in houses, let them live in tents in that way. Simple as.
It's too far away from the
Instead-
smack dealer.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the problems just spill over, mate, don't they?
they don't though, because at the end of the day, I've seen Newport, where I live, they clear them all out. The back week later, people are giving them tents. They clear them out, they just pick them up and shift them. Tents there, they then go a skip, they chuck all stuff that they've been given into skip, and then somebody else gives them tents and new bedding and new clothes. Yeah?
Exactly.
If you had a field or something that were out the way, and in corner there was a toilet and there was a washing machine, they could wash their own clothes and they could use a shower and whatnot. Yeah? If they want to live in tents, let them live in tents. But here's the thing. You can't just keep ignoring the fact that the reason why a lot of these people are living in these tents and not living in houses because they've got problems up here. If you're not going to tackle the issue with the problem upstairs, how the hell are you going to get back into an house?
Hold on, Tiny.
not.
The Welsh accent isn't a mental problem, it's just an attitude.
Will you pack it in?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've overstayed our welcome on the stream.
Yeah, we've run over by a little bit, but it's one of them. I still reckon there's fucking plenty that could be done by our government to make sure that we ain't fucking worrying about, you know.
Well, look at all the
Gas.
migrant hotels. That's the answer's obvious. There is things they could do. Yes, there might be some that don't want to be helped, but there are ones that will want to be helped. So why should we let the ones that want to be helped flip through the cracks by saying we got no money, yet we can pay 30, 40 grand a year to someone to do Stonewall training at Kent County Council or Leeds County Council and tell you how woke they are and how's half the third world in.
I agree with you, mate. It's fucking insanity. It's not.
We
It's by
pay.
design.
We pay
by design, by Weth.
illegal fucking invaders, we pay them 4 times the amount, or at least 3 times the amount that we pay for a pensioner's pension
Yeah.
a year.
People have to keep increasing the pensioner's pension, going back to Carlo's first statement.
No,
Yeah.
foreign use.
A pensioner's pension is around 9,000 standard. It's around 9 grand a year. We're paying 40 grand a year for each one of them fucking immigrants in this
And
country.
don't forget this. Don't forget
There
this
must be
year.
doctors then.
They cut in the where it was 12 grand, where of your wages, where at first 12 grand you don't pay any tax. They're going to be cutting that to 6 grand. That's what they've predicted that they're going to announce in this budget in April or May when next budget is. So you'll think about it. So you're going to be paying more tax, more national insurance, and yet they're putting taxes up on everything. Your council tax is going up. And my council, lovely people that they are, they're on about deciding that instead of doing a fortnightly empty of my bin, which is, by the way, smaller than me, and that takes some doing, they're going to, instead of it being fortnightly, they want to do it for 3 weeks now. They want to put the council tax up 9.5%. Where's that right? If they're cutting my services, they should cut my council tax, not put it up.
Well, when are we going to get a rebate for all the interest that they're going to get back off the Ukraine, this money that they've loaned them? You know, in this biggest fucking money laundering scheme that we've seen in a fucking while.
Hang on.
We know
I
what's
think
going to
it's
happen.
done
Russia's
through.
going to take over.
I think
Russia's
it's done
gonna take
through
over Ukraine.
bonds.
You ain't getting your money back.
Let's throw out a pack
Yeah.
of cards.
We both know that if they do this with the bins, then if it goes in Wales, they'll do it in other areas like these 15-minute cities and everything else because we need to save the polar bears because the Spectre agency in Davos told us so. We know full well that the amount of flight tipping is going to shoot up because they'll put limitations on how many times you can go to the tip.
Already has.
Fucking hell.
Did you see the interview? Long story short, it's a councillor in England. Unbelievably, is a Liberal Democrat councillor, old geezer, grey hair, glasses, and he's being interviewed. And he laid it all out. He said, "See, all of this," and he said, "I'm going to use the word. This insanity has come from." It was a city in the Netherlands. And he said, but the difference between that city and ours is they're 6 times the size of us. That they've got less people, they've got more infrastructure. And it works perfectly and they're flat. And it just doesn't work here.
No, you think what money they're paying on this HS2 and the amount of land that they've took over to build this HS2. Now, it was prime. Some of it is prime growing land. So we're losing land that way, and they want to take more land to build houses on. I'm sorry, no, you can't just. Eventually, you're going to run out of land, and what do you do then? How do you feed you? Well, you can't just import it in from other countries because they're doing exactly the same. Because they're taking people from these poorer countries into their country, so their land's going to be left bare. And
all the whilst, over in, again, the Netherlands, what is it, over 3,000 farms have been expropriated? Or are up for expropriation, I should say.
Yeah, well, you got to get carbon neutral, yeah. Greta Thunberg, fucking, you know what I mean, just told everybody.
But as we all know, it's fuck all about that.
Yeah,
You
well,
know, that's just the thick cunts
yeah,
accepting their argument.
yeah.
That's not what it's
people
about at
can't
all.
Go on there and look for their own eyes and read the fact about what happens when you drop the parts per million down below a certain amount, that plants won't grow. And that means you won't grow food, so therefore you're going to starve. When are they going to wake up and realise that they're the ones going to be starving?
Mate, nobody wants to listen to your facts, Coronation Street, son.
Hold
You
on.
know what I mean?
I've got something else just
Oh,
because I started thinking in a soil and green. But has anyone else heard about this thing about they're going to do 1984 by George Orwell from a woman's point of view?
oh,
No.
Yes, literally.
hang on. Is it one of these new women, or is it like a proper woman?
Yeah, one of those old-fashioned types.
Is it the old-fashioned type, or the new ones with the cock?
And a beard.
Ocean side, but he's just basically like putting it back to the old fucking thing of the Matrix. It's all about the control and everything else. You read the book, film if you fucking have to, and it's like, yeah, we're putting a spin on it to be more inclusive by putting it from a woman's point of view, and you're like, did you fucking read the book before you come up with this idea?
Yeah, and also, what is a woman?
Yeah.
It's something that
You mean from a trans woman's point of view? So being a trans woman's point of view would be different from a woman's point of view. Ergo, they're different. Oh,
You're a
crikey.
bigger. You're just being
Well,
a bigger.
Yeah, you're being a bigot.
All women are women. You know, the ones with the uterus and tits.
Well, I know Gammon is.
all women are women, but you wouldn't put a biological woman into a male's prison, apparently. But all women are
Yeah,
women.
but that's
No,
different.
I said all women are women, the ones with the uterus and tits.
You can't.
It's right. go back to the book where you understand biology. The uterus, mate, is the part that makes a woman a woman. Yeah, so I wasn't even entertaining the fact that, you know, you could have a cock and still be a woman. That wasn't in there.
I wasn't listening, to be honest.
That's right, then. Fucking hell.
Well, I missed that bit. I was listening to fucking clusterfuck.
Why?
I mean, well, because like with you, I can only see like fucking half your face like that.
Yeah, I know. He's telling us. Oh,
Home improvement, the guy over the fence.
you know,
hang on.
he whinges every fucking
we're gonna
weekend
go-
except last, obviously, because he was feeling lonely.
Like this the whole time, and you, I keep looking, thinking it's like a Poundland James O'Brien just pulling the headset back one ear.
Oh, where's Wally?
Well, I'm paying attention to him, so I'm looking at him.
Right, well, pay attention to this. Fuck off. Time to go. Sights are off. We're off.
Sarah,
Right, peeps. We'll probably see you Wednesday as long as Ethan sorted out the quiz. Which I'm sure he will have.
The dead good, dead
Stay
hard
lucky.
quiz.
Yeah, the dead good, dead
Oh,
old quiz.
Don't miss the midnight quiz.
Not
Oh,
midnight,
no.
no. It's at
No,
9 o'clock on a
oh.
Wednesdays. Drop by if you think you can beat us at the quiz. I'm sure Patreon would love to get beaten one time. But fucking, you know, you'll have to test your skills. But on that note, say to our people.
Ta-ra, people.
Oh, people.
To our people.
yeah, man.